Hello guys, NautoAisDx here. This is going to be the conclusion from my Dragonball Thoughts franchise. So the previous one is I did talk about Super, which made me happy. Again, the definite version of what Dragon Ball. Again, Super, really awesome. So a lot of the question and this warning before I even continue, this is spoilers. So for people who haven't watched the dub and you don't want to watch the sub, you have not watched it from Crunchyroll, then I highly suggest to click back now for this one, because this is going to be a lot of post thoughts of mine and a lot of, I call it retcon, things that happen and officially never happened, and you know that GT is an alternate timeline. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds here. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright, so now this is going to be my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT, as in, is GT has a connection with Dragon Ball Super? Did it actually happen or not? So again, first of all, disclaimer, 2 disclaimer. 1, Akira Toriyama have already said it before that in Dragon Ball GT is an alternate timeline to the Dragon Ball universe. It's not canon to what the actual story, but sort of a different approach to the story. So rather than Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 4. Rather than Android 17 being allied to Goku, Super 17 basically is a bad guy. That's the first disclaimer. Second disclaimer is Super is still on continuation. They're still working the Universal arc, so they're not done yet. No one even knows there's going to be a 6th arc after this, but right now people are so excited with the Universal arc because, like I said, female Broly, more stronger fighters, Android 17. So then, in my opinion, is GT connected to the Dragon Ball Z? No. Like I believe Akira Toriyama said an alternate timeline, and I agree with that. Is Super going to be connected to the 10-year arc? That's a little tricky because we saw in the end, we saw Bula, we saw Pan, and we saw Boo. And the reason I said Boo is that during the Universal Survival arc, let's just say Boo has a new transformation, a new form, let's just say. But in the 10-year arc, he was fat. Okay, good. Okay, again, but like I said, it's not yet official. They're not done yet. But with the GT, definitely there's a lot of retcon that that it's not connected. So the first thing, and again, like I said, this is going to be spoiler territory. 1, Kubito Kai. In GT, it's still Kubito Kai living in his supreme planet, because he basically, each Kai has their own planet. King Kai has a planet, Supreme Kai has his own planet, but then it's still Kubito Kai. In Super, prior to the Champa arc, they wished, with the Dragon Ball, they wished to separate Shin and Kubito. So Kubito Kai got separated, he's back to being Shin, and there's a reason why. And Kubito, so once again, he's again Shin. There you go. Second retcon, that it's not connected. King Kai still lives on Grand Kai's planet. In Super, he once again, apparently after this planet was destroyed, either somebody wished his planet to come back, so he has his planet again once again. So there you go. His planet is returned. There you go. So again, another retcon. So you're already 2 there. You know that it has nothing to do with GT. And then the third one, maybe not. This is a really tricky one because again, it's the survival arc is not yet done, and that is Android 17. According to Akira Toriyama, during the Boo arc, 17 was a ranger. He's the first ranger protecting the animal. He fights against poachers. In the story with GT, somehow he went rogue by himself, and then he's trying to recruit his sister again to do some bad things. So is 17 the bad guy in Super? Is he not? Doesn't care. No one knows. And this is gonna be the official meeting of Goku and Android 17. Again, like I said, GT is in a different storyline. Yes, Goku did meet Android 17, but in a different situation. We'll have to wait and see what the story is. So that's a hard one. But the two that I can say that it is not connected, Shin is back. King Kai is still, he once again got his planet back. While it versus that he's in Grand Kai's planet. And that sort of a thing that can prove it. There might be more. Well, I guess there is more, because there's also God of Destruction. Because what if the thing that they revealed, what the reason the God of Destruction exists is to counter against the Kais. Yes, for each planet of the universe, there's one Kai to one God of Destruction. There you go. So in Universe 7 is Shin and Beerus. In Universe 6, of course, Champa the God of Destruction, and I forgot what the name of the Kai, but yeah, so again, because it was revealed in the Universal Survival Arc that in the 12 universe, there's a God of Destruction, Angels, and Kais. So there are Kais, and if you know Supreme Kai's Shin's premises, he prematurely became Supreme Kai because the previous Kai had to sacrifice himself to stop Kid Buu, the real Majin Buu or Buu. So sadly, it's sort of inexperienced, but thanks to Elder Kai, which is supposed to be the previous Supreme Kai before the other Super Kai, then Shin, he kind of gave him kind of guidance. And it also revealed that it was Beerus who basically put the Elder Kai in the sword. So normally it could be Elder Kai and Beerus, but to some extent, according to Zeno, is that Shin is the Supreme Kai, Beerus is the God of Destruction for Universe 7, Elder Kai basically is just, he's an advisor to Shin. So he teaches Shin how to be a Kai. So I mean, that's okay, there you go. So again, there you go, some of the retcon. I say, are there more? Maybe, as of right now, that's all I can see that is retcon. Again, it's gonna, but like I said, it's kind of official there, so, yeah. So like I said, Shin is back. King Kai has his own plan again, and then Android, where he's at, is he really a good guy, or is he a bad guy? No one knows yet. So, yeah, so that's my thoughts on the connection between GT and Super. In my opinion, really, I agree with Akitayama. It has no connection. GT is an alternate timeline. I don't think there's going to be any reference to GT, but I know the 10-year arc. Like, they already shown it. One, again, spoiler, Pam was born, and then later on, during the Universal arc, believe it or not, Bula was born. So you already got two characters you can see in the 10-year arc. They're now born. There you go. So what's the future of Super? Well, right now, again, the Universal arc is really big. It's sort of a steady pace of right now. It's every week. Like I said, if you want to know more about it, I guess two guys that I follow on YouTube for Neverworld and Anime Reaction, watch them. They'll explain like their theory about Dragon Ball Super. There you go. So with that, thanks for listening.